Hey guys, got another disassembly video for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at what is one of the more interesting upper receiver groups available for an AR-15 and ARAK-21. Now this is a long stroke gas piston upper receiver that's supposed to be a marriage between the AK's long stroke piston system and the AR-15's lower receiver, and in fact this is compatible with the vast majority of AR-15 lower receivers. So let's tear into it and see what makes this different and interesting. Alright guys, so we can go ahead and get started here by popping out our standard AR-15 magazine, and of course the important part here is going to be the upper receiver. The lower receiver is basically compatible with most AR-15 style of receivers for the ARAK-21. One exception, one thing you need to keep in mind, is if you have an enlarged bolt release like I do on this Griffin Mark II lower, you might have to modify the left side ejection panel cover here like I had to do. I had to cut away some material so that it would fit there. This is designed to work with a standard AR-15 style ping pong paddle. But to go ahead and start the disassembly, of course, just like any AR-15 upper, we can go ahead, release that rear pivot pin and go ahead and pivot it apart shotgun style, or go ahead and take out the front pin as well and fully separate the upper and lower receivers. Now again, the lower receiver, the ARAK-21 is going to be compatible with most AR-15 styles, to include ones that have your buffer and buffer spring in there. It is not required on the ARAK, however, because all of the recoil components are actually contained within the upper receiver, which we'll see in a sec. But on this, I did get a Magpul UCP stock, one of their new ones, which is very nice and side folding, fully adjustable, which is attached to a Picatinny rail mount. This is a K&S Precision mount at the back of the receiver here. So that way I can have a folding stock. And other than that, this is a Griffin Mark II lower receiver, which is very nice. And then also got the Griffin safety selectors here with the 45 degrees and a Magpul Myad grip and a Geisley two-stage trigger in there. Nothing too crazy going on. And again, this is going to be compatible with most AR-15 lower receivers. Alright, and here is the beating heart of the ARAK-21, the upper receiver. And this, of course, houses pretty much all of your major components, to include the recoil system, your gas system. The only other thing are the trigger components and the lower receiver. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and swap the charging handle. It's best if you do this while it's fully assembled like this. And as you can see, there's a detent in there that it presses up against. And to get it out, it is not the easiest process in the world. The best way I figured out how to do it is when pulled apart like this with just the upper receiver, press your finger on the back of the bolt carrier group here. And then what you need to do is compress that detent there while pressing on the front while it's folded here. And then it will actually pop it out of its channel. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but once it's popped out, then you can just pull it over to the other side of the receiver. I'm actually just going to put it back in the right side, and what you need to do is go ahead and compress that detent again with the back of the charging handle here. And again, not exactly the easiest to do, especially when you're doing it on camera, but when you get in the right spot here, you can go ahead and depress that detent again, and then press it in until it clicks, and then it's going to be reinstalled. And again, it's all completely contained here, so you can see you can even run the charging handle when it's fully assembled. Now to start the disassembly process, we have one captive pin that's going to be right here at the back of the upper receiver. Going to need to go ahead and pop that guy across. This is fairly tight on mine, so I'm going to go ahead and use a punch for it. And then you can see we have a nice knurled pad here on the back of the recoil assembly, so what you need to do is press it in and then down, and then it will allow the recoil assembly, the guide rod, and the spring to come out the back here, so you can take the spring off, and then you just have the guide rod and the hook here, which holds it into the receiver. Now that we have the recoil spring out, we can go ahead and just turn it over, and then your bolt carrier group, it does have gas rings, will go ahead and slide out the back of the rifle. Now, checking out the bolt carrier group itself, you can see how this is kind of a marriage of an AR and AK. It has a long stroke piston system like an AK with the addition of some gas rings up front, so you do get a better gas seal with this. The bolt itself, as well as the carrier, is similar to an AR-15, a little closer to an AR-180, but it's got the standard cam pin there. And then to disassemble this, we have our firing pin retaining pin right here in the back. One really nice feature as you push this across is it is retained, so you don't have to pull this out and then potentially lose it. You can just take out your firing pin here, and this is more or less a standard AR-15 style of firing pin. Then you have your cam pin, which will just pop out eventually right here. So you can see this is very similar to a standard AR-15 one with some different contours up top. And then you can pull the bolt right out the front. Now the bolt itself is somewhat similar to a standard AR-15. It does have rounded lugs. This is a feature on other guns like the MCX, and it's supposed to have better structural integrity of the lugs over time, less places for them to crack. It also has dual ejectors here and the extractor on the side. And in the back, of course, it's a gas piston system, so you don't need to have the gas rings like you do on a standard AR-15. But other than that, it is more or less an AR-15 style of bolt. Now, one really cool feature is you can actually, and actually it does also have a firing pin spring in there, which just popped out of it. But you can actually swap it between left and right eject, and that's done by just turning the bolt in either direction before you put your cam pin back in there. And one thing to keep in note is you can install this bolt backwards and have it ejecting into the inside of the receiver, which is not a great thing. I've actually done that once. So make sure that you have the extractor actually on the side of the ejection port, or the side you want to eject out of, and the ejectors on the other side, and then you're in business. All right, now coming back to the upper receiver, we can take a look at the gas system. So this is your gas plug. Currently, I have it in the suppressed position. It also has, if you have a tool, the normal gas setting here and adverse setting here, and then if you turn it all the way around to the other side, it has a gas cutoff position if you just want to turn off the gas system entirely. Now to pull your plug out, you just need to turn it until this flag is facing up, and then it'll pop out a little bit, and you can go ahead and pull the gas plug right out the front of the receiver, and you can see there it has a detent pin and then also all of your gas holes there. And then just looking at the front of the gas plug, or gas block, you can see where that detent interfaces with the system here. Now, another hallmark of the ARAK-21 is you can fairly easily swap out the barrels on this. And you can see you have 6 screws on the underside of the handguard here. Essentially, all you have to do is go ahead and loosen all of those. And as you can see, that takes a minute because there are 6 of them, but you basically back them out all the way until they're just floating there, and then you can go ahead and pull off the lower handrail right here. So you can see those screws are all retained in there so you won't lose them, which is very nice. And then you have the inside of the receiver and the barrel. To get the barrel out, you just have to press it forward until it unlatches here in the back. You can see those rails there. And then it will just pull right out of the upper receiver. So we can take a look at the barrel itself. You can see we have the gas tube up top connected to the gas block there. And then in the back, you get really, really easy access to the chamber to clean it if you remove the barrel entirely. So that's a pretty cool feature. And here's the upper receiver with the barrel removed, and in there you can see just where it interfaces up here with these locating pins, and then your charging handle assembly on the inside. So that's a part that you aren't going to be removing for just a standard disassembly. And other than that, there's not a whole lot else to see. You can see the shell deflector here has these 2 screws in it. And then on the opposite side for this cover, you can see the 2 screws here. You can actually swap these 2, and that's part of swapping the ejection between the left and right side. But other than that, there's not a whole lot to see. There's a ton of room in there once you get the barrel out to go ahead and clean everything off though. Now, one quick tip for reassembly: to put your barrel back in, you just drop it into the receiver ahead of this cutout here. And then you're going to go ahead and slide it back into position, and then you can go ahead and replace the lower rail section here. Now, before you go ahead and start screwing everything in, one thing I recommend you do, if I can pop out my pins here, which I had pushed in for some reason, is go ahead and actually assemble the rifle to the lower receiver. Now, one of the reasons, or the main reason for that, is the barrel can actually still move a little bit in this position, forward and backwards. So if you have it pushed all the way back, this front pivot pin won't actually push across when it's all locked together, or when this is all tightened down up front. So if you go ahead and get it in the right position there, you can press a pin across and then go ahead and re-torque the screws up front. And for the 6 screws up here, Faxon recommends you torque them down to 30 inch-pounds. Alright guys, and here is a Faxon Firearms ARAK-21 fully disassembled. So thank you for checking out the video. Please like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you in the next one.